You've probably, if you watch my videos, you'll probably know that I just got back from Vidcon. I just thought I'd kind of sit down and share sort of my experiences, what I learned, what I did, what I saw, who I met, all that. Because the other two videos I made about Vidcon, one was just like vlogging the road trip there because we drove for like 25 hours to get there, and it was, oh my god, it was an experience. And then the other video I posted about Vidcon is just random footage I had from Vidcon, but it wasn't like everything I did because obviously I wasn't filming the entire time. I thought I'd just sit down today and kind of talk about everything and the experience for those of you who, you know, don't get to go or want to go or are considering it or whatever. So then the first like official day of Vidcon was the Thursday, and the first thing we did was go and walk around for a little bit, and then we went to a panel, and I don't remember exactly what the panel was called, but it had 3 YouTubers on it and obviously a moderator, and we went, me and my friends went because Dodie was on it. But the panel was basically about creating change, or like inspiring social movements and change and like blah 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 in your audience as a creator. And so I thought it was really interesting. I wasn't like drawn to it because of what it was about. I just wanted to go see Dodie. But I actually found it really informative. I thought I actually gained a lot out of it, and it was basically about using your platform as an online creator to talk about issues in the world and talk about, you know, ways that anybody can help with those things, or making people feel like they have a community. So I actually found that really interesting. It was Dodie on there, Jana Vlogs, and I can't remember the name of the third girl, but it inspired me. I'm gonna post a video probably next week, sort of about what my channel is kind of leaning towards in terms of content. And I think that I'm gonna start making more content that is related to, you know, social issues and just discussions about life and like that kind of stuff, because that panel actually inspired me a lot to, you know, think about, even though I have a super small audience, like think about what I'm posting on the internet and how that could be affecting people and how I can use that to talk about issues that I care about. So that was that panel, and then after we stuck around and we actually got to meet Dodie, so I'll put that picture in here maybe. And so that was super exciting, and she's so sweet, and she was on the panel because she's a big advocate for mental health and that kind of stuff, and she was saying on the panel actually that she was having you know, a really hard time that day and that weekend, and it was really inspiring seeing someone who was clearly struggling still being there for like people who look up to her, and it was I don't know, it just like felt like really genuine that she wanted to stay and meet people after, even though she'd already said she wasn't having like a great, you know, time. And so I have a lot of respect for her because of that, because, you know, she really obviously cares about her, like her following, her fans, and it clearly meant a lot to her to be able to meet all these people that she's affected their lives. Yeah. Oh, after that, on the first day, we just kind of walked around the convention center and like went to all the booths and like got the like free like whatever stuff they were giving away. Like, you don't go to festivals or conventions or any of that stuff without getting like a ton of free stuff. In the footage I had, the other VidCon video I posted about just like random footage, I think I sort of did like a mini haul almost. So you could go watch that and you'll be able to see what I got. So yeah, so we just walked around inside and we were walking around outside, and we actually ran into Evan Edinger, is that how you say his last name? I don't know. Anyways, he's also a YouTuber, so I got to meet him as well, which was really awesome. I'll put that picture here as well. So that was cool. He was super nice, and I don't watch like a ton of his videos, but I've seen a couple, so it was like cool to meet him. And so that was pretty much the first day. We didn't do a lot of like panels or anything. So then the second day we actually did a lot more. So we started the morning with going to the BuzzFeed Ladylike panel, and it was a Q&A with the 5 of them, and I watch all their videos and they're so funny, and I think it's really awesome that it's just like all women doing a bunch of different things, and you know, they do a lot of things that are stereotypically women things, but they also do a lot of things that, you know, what you would think men would only do. And so it's awesome seeing women out there and doing those things. And they also do a lot of things that nobody would ever think to do, but they do them, and I think that's really awesome. That panel, since it was a Q&A, there wasn't a lot of like knowledge, I guess, that I like gained from it necessarily, but I thought it was really interesting to watch, and they seemed really genuine. And then after that, there was another panel, and it was about like rising stars on YouTube, like new YouTubers kind of, and Sophia was on that panel. And I started watching her when she was still at BuzzFeed, and now I watch her independent channel, and I really like her videos a lot, so I was mostly just there to watch her, and they were just kind of talking about how, sort of what it's like going from like a small channel and like then gaining a lot of momentum. So that was kind of interesting to hear about, and it's like, wow, like that could literally happen to anyone, like 1 or 2 videos, and all of a sudden you have a huge following. It just depends on like what you're talking about, what you're posting, and like when, you know, like it's so subjective and just kind of like a fluke almost, you know, like there's nothing that's like, today you're gonna get this many subscribers and that's it. Like, it's so random. But yeah, just talking about all their kind of like stories about how they came to be creators, and how like what sort of their like defining moment as a creator was, and how that's like made them into like these mega stars that they are now, and that kind of stuff. After that, walking around, I was by myself actually, just like the food trucks area, and I actually ran into Ash and Grace Hardell, so I'll put that photo here. They were super sweet, and just super nice. They told me they liked my glasses, and I was like, oh, thank you, like, I don't know, they just seemed really genuine. So that was really nice. That was cool. And then after that, I went to a panel that was on relationships online, like when they're like couples channels, and that was with Bria and Chrissy and Team 2 Moms, and they were just talking about how to make a relationship work when your relationship is kind of also your job in that way, I guess. Like, they were talking about how to know when to pick up the camera and know when to put down the camera, and you know, when to put your partner first, or your, you know, husband or wife first, versus your channel and your brand or whatever per se. And I thought it was just really interesting. I obviously am not a couples channel in any way, but I thought it was interesting to see them talking about how, you know, to deal with that, and just talking about their like following and how that affects their relationship, and how being a couple online affects their relationships. And I thought it was really interesting. And just, you know, I think although it was about couples, I think I took from it, you know, the same thing that you could take from it if you were a couples channel, is that you have to know when to put the camera down and focus on your own life, versus, you know, creating content, and like posting schedule should be less important than your health and like all that kind of stuff. After that, I went, Gen X Pen was doing a Q&A at the instant stage, so I sort of watched the end of that. I watch her videos like some. I wasn't like dying to see her or anything, but it was interesting. She talked about her YouTube Red show, Foursome mostly, so I haven't seen it, so I didn't really know much about it. And then after that, we hung out. My friends came back and we watched the Dodie Q&A, which was super awesome. I had already seen her the day before, obviously they had it as well, but it was cool because this was sort of a different circumstance than the other one. The other one she was talking about, you know, her channel and creating change and blah blah blah. This one was just talking about her, you know, music, and she's a book coming out in her life, and there was, you know, some questions and whatever. So that was super interesting to watch. Again, I didn't gain a lot of like, you know, knowledge from that. So the third day, I was with Lindsay and Maggie primarily, and they're booktubers. So in the morning there was the booktube panel, which we went to. I obviously don't know that much about booktube, so I just kind of was like, okay, and I like sat through it and I was like, ah. And then after that, okay, this was the third day, so this was the Saturday, and it was a weird day. I don't know, I'm still honestly like in shock as to how this all happened, but basically I went to the booktube thing, and then they were gonna go hang out with book people. We like took a couple photos just like around Vidcon and like the convention center in the grounds and stuff. And then they had to go to another book thing, so I was just walking around by myself. And I see Lucy Moon, so she's a British YouTuber, and she was just, you know, standing outside and she was meeting people and like taking pictures and stuff. So I was like, oh, that's cool. I watch her videos. I'll go like say hi and like get a picture and whatever. I'll put that picture here. And it was so weird because I was just kind of like standing at the back, but there was like a bunch of people, and this group was like, oh hey, do you want to like come into our like circle and chat? And I was like, okay, sure. Like, and they were like, oh, are you here to meet Lucy? I'm like, yeah, blah blah blah. And then we just kind of all started talking, and they were all super nice. And then like Lucy finished meeting people, and she kind of just like joined in the group, and they were like, oh, Lucy, like this girl wants to meet you, me. And so then I like met her, and I was like, okay, this is like this. And then I like talked to her for a few minutes, and she was like, oh, I love your lipstick, I love your nails, I love your hair. And I'm like, oh girl, like thank you, like yes. And then it was really quite random because I didn't realize that the group that I had been standing with was all like sort of there with her, like they were like waiting for her to be done. So they all like knew her, I guess, but anyways, it was quite odd. And so we all just kind of were like still there talking, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm just like chatting with like Lucy Moon, and there's a couple other like featured creators there. And I was like, this, what is my life, kind of. I was like, how did I get here? We were just talking about like, you know, normal people things. It was just like, I was like, it's kind of weird meeting like people that you see on the internet and then realizing that they're like real people who do like actual things that like I also do, you know? And then we talked for a while, like all of us. There was a big like circle kind of. And then they were like, oh, we're gonna go get lunch. Do you want to come? And I was like, okay, like sure. So I was just like tagged along with them, and they went to the Vidcon food trucks, and we all just like sat on the ground at Vidcon and like ate our like lunch or whatever. And it was just like such a weird like surreal moment because I'm like, how am I here right now? Like I don't understand. Like I'm literally like a nobody from Canada. I have like, you know, 80 subscribers like maybe, and these are like famous people that I'm just like having lunch with, you know? And it's just very weird, you know? So then I kind of started getting to know the rest of the group. There's a bunch of people in there from Britain, but then some from America as well. There was, who was there? Super Sam Stuff, I think that's his channel. Rowan Ellis, I don't know what her channel name is. Taha Khan, I don't know his channel name either. And then a bunch of other people. Charlie Spadoon was there. Rebecca somebody, I think her name is, and a couple other people. Doesn't really matter. And yeah, so we just kind of like hung out, and then Lucy had to go because she had to like do some video stuff, some, you know, whatever. And so I just like hung out with the rest of the group for like the rest of the day, and we like walked around and we chatted, and like it was just very like cool for me because as like a YouTuber, I don't know, like my friend Lindsay who makes book videos, she's part of the booktube community. But I've always felt being on YouTube that I never had a community or like anyone really to talk to. Like I don't have YouTube friends, you know, like that's not something I've ever had. And talking to these people, I realized like how much similarities I had, and it was just really interesting to meet people that, you know, I mean, they're a lot bigger channels than I am, but they're making, you know, content that I'm interested in, and like it's super cool kind of meeting people that you can relate to and actually like be like, hey, this could be like a community for me, maybe. I'm not sure, but you know, maybe someday. And so that was really cool. And just like so random, like what a crazy experience, but like a really, really amazing day just to like talk to people and like hang out and have it just be so real and like genuine, and like they're asking me about my life, and like I found out about their lives and their channels and blah blah blah. And so that was just really like phenomenal almost. Like I was really excited about that. So that was pretty much, you know, VidCon. After that I met back up with my friends and literally went back to the hotel. So honestly, like I think if I was to go to VidCon again, I would try to go see a lot more panels, because I found that the panels I did go to, especially creator panels, were so inspiring. I gained so much knowledge from them, and it made me like excited to create content. So I think if I was going to go again, I would definitely want to do more of those. But I would also want to like meet more people. Meeting people that third day was so much fun, and I would just want to go up and talk to everyone and like say hi and be like, what's your channel about? Oh, my channel's about this, blah blah blah, and just kind of like meet people and get to know people. Me being where I am on YouTube, it's very isolated, and I think it would be interesting and exciting to meet more people and, you know, grow as a channel and as a brand and all that stuff. So yeah, VidCon all in all was so much fun. If I had to describe it though, it's a lot of screaming to like 13-year-old girls following like Musical.ly stars, but I mean the creator like track, because I had a creator badge, I thought was better. But yeah, honestly, I had so much fun. If you ever have the opportunity to go, I highly recommend it. And yeah, I think I took so much out of it, and I'm so excited to, you know, put that into my life and, you know, make content that matters to me, and make content and meet people that are doing the same thing I am, and all this kind of stuff. I'm so excited, so I hope you guys share that excitement with me. You should go check out the other videos I posted from VidCon. They're up already. You should subscribe to my channel to see more content in the future, because I'm so excited about what's coming up. And like this video, comment, blah blah blah, you know the drill. And I'll see you guys soon, okay? Because I'm gonna start posting more, I promise. Okay. Goodbye guys. Bye.